Thank you so much, Nigel, for those words of inspiration. Although I'm sure they were directed to the graduates, I believe all of us took some notes on that one so that we can continue to live our best lives. Coming to the stage next is my sister in the Academy, Dr. Terri Hurrdle.
First, I have to say this, to God be the glory. I'm sorry. To God be the glory. And let me say this before I get started. You know, I believe in numbers, not, you know, now I did have grandparents, they did have me go play their numbers, pick 4, pick 3, and all that kind of stuff. But I believe in numbers, and when I say that, and this number tonight significantly is going to be 3, because first you heard the song Go Get It, then Nigel put a part of his speech, and believe it or not, when I was meditating and praying over what I wanted to say, it was Go Get It. And the reason for that is just the verses of the song and what they talk about, because it fed into me and the 7-year journey I took just to get to this point here. And so I just wanted to start that little introduction now. So if you hear a little repetition, know that's something you need to hear and embrace in your spirit and let that seed develop and water inside of you. So good evening, my fellow graduates, to my faculty, staff, administrators, family, and friends. I want to tell you this, it is an honor and privilege to speak to you this evening. Please know I do not take being in your presence for granted. I am so humbled. All right. Standing before you seems so unreal because I've been the person out there working with the volunteers. And as I said again, I have to give our honor to God, my family, my sorors, my mentors, and my friends who have supported me, especially a great lady who left this world the day after I completed this whole journey, which for me was Miss Paulette Robinson. And she, if you just know about, she believed in the older women teaching the young. And she took so much time out with me, and I have to acknowledge her. And I had to dedicate my dissertation to her just for what she did for me. But as I move on, as I was reflecting, and I promised Nikki I am going to get back to your time frame, the doctor came to me as I looked at our theme, Onward, Upward, Success is Next. The subtopic came to me, not allowing your circumstances to limit you. Right. What were you thinking? Now, I want to start with vision. Do you realize that you're given the vision, and at the vision, you're given the end? You're not given the beginning. You're not given the process. You're given the end. You're not given what you're going to go through. You're not given that part of that challenge that's supposed to build you up. Like the song said, it built your muscle. Then you're not told that, because I don't know if we will be told what the process will be, will we really want to walk in it? Because just to get to this point, some of you who are parents, who are students here, you know what it took your son, your daughter, your mentee to get to this point. So we're not told that part of the process. So you get sometimes and you wonder, why did I start this? Because I started this in 2005, and sometimes, and Dr. Stacy Dine can tell you, I would look at myself like, what did I start this for again? Why did I sit here and say, oh, I can do this? Who told me I can do this? And and some of the other things that comes to you at times is, I'm a woman, I'm a black male, I'm the only one in my class, and the finances aren't there. But you know what comes when those thoughts come in? And that's faith, because faith overcomes fear. And that's what, because you got to look out and see what you don't see. See, it's the faith, because you know circumstances now will tell you the economy's bad and all this, but you know what? You got to go beyond that. You have to look, because if you look at what's going on, you're not going to want to keep going. So you have to focus on that vision and that end result as you're going through that process. And see, sometimes you got to look at that faith and say, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You can't mess with me. that I am gifted. We are talented. That's what you got to say to yourself. You got to encourage yourself, as the song said. Tyler Perry stated that when a seed is planted in the ground, all you can do is water it and believe. That's what allowed me to be in this position right now, and I will not stop believing. That's what he said. And then I want to add to that, believe in your God and yourself, because when you were born, and hear me when I say this, when you were born, that's when you became qualified. It wasn't any, you know, even with the degree, you were qualified when 9 months later, 6 months later, whatever time it took you to get in this world, that's when you became qualified for this moment. So it's not about your pedigree, it's not about your race, it's not about your gender, or that individual or individuals who questioned your walk. It's about those talents placed in you at birth, and that's what gives you the right to be here right now. To my graduate students, my master's and doctoral, this is great and this is awesome. This is great and this is awesome, but more is to come for you. This ain't the epitome of what's coming for your life, and I speak that. To my undergraduates who you know I love to death, and sincerely, Nigel, Mario, and a few others in here, my mentee Barbara, you know I love you, but know this, that more is going to be pressed out of you, Ron. More is going to be pressed out of you, Stacy, as you go through this process of life. It's going to be pressed out of you, so the greatness that is in you, you haven't even seen yet. People have not seen, eyes have not seen the glory that's within you. And to everyone that is in attendance, everyone, know that there is more in you, and that's where the part of my thing comes into play. What were you thinking? My pastor preached last week. This was his topic, what were you thinking? And what you have to understand is your thought process will determine how you encounter the circumstances of life. How you think about it, how you walk in it, how you allow them to influence your walk. That's what's going to happen. That's how you will navigate it. But I have 3 things that I want to suggest to you as I close to help you navigate this process called life. First, surround yourself with people who will hold you accountable, as well as those who will encourage you. That's the main thing you need. Not just somebody to say yes to you, but to hold you accountable and to really encourage you. Let your faith guide you. Now, for me, I will be honest, it is the word of God, because, you know, I was taught greater is in he than me that's in the world. And then my grandmother came, she used to always say, well, you know what, I can do all things through Christ. And then as I was getting older, I learned no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So no financial circumstances, nothing that stands here will hold you back. All right. And this is a part of the song that we just talked about that I'm going to end it with. It says, it's all right to crawl before you walk. It's all right to walk before you run. But if you want to get what you never got to do something that you never done. So the last part is, go get it. Go get that vision. Go get what you want. Because you are qualified and certified. Go get it.